Let's talk about communication. It's the single most important factor in the pilot-controller relationship. The sheer volume of communications between pilots and air traffic controllers makes human error inevitable.
The opportunity for miscommunication is constant, and the consequences range from annoying to potentially dangerous. At the very least, miscommunication results in increased frequency congestion and increased controller workload. Language barriers, speech rate, message length, and content can all contribute to the breakdown of communications.
In this program, we're going to look at some strategies controllers can use to avoid getting into situations where there's a breakdown in communication.
Both pilots and controllers can work towards improving communications by getting back to the basics.
Successful communication requires three important steps: transmitting, receiving, and acknowledging. Each of these steps, if not done correctly, can lead to a breakdown in communication. For instance, once the mic is keyed, use a slight pause to ensure that your first word is not cut out. A controller must ensure that the correct pilot is receiving their instructions by using aircraft call signs with each transmission and using them correctly. Use the full call sign on initial contact. Then you may abbreviate call signs by using November or the aircraft type if previously used by the pilot, followed by the last three digits or letters of the call sign.
It's important to advise pilots of similar sounding call signs. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to define what constitutes a similar call sign. Call signs with different airline names but the same flight number, airline flight numbers that differ by only one digit, or similar sounding words such as 15 and 50 are potentially confusing.
United 412 United, Memphis Center. American 412 is also on the frequency acknowledged.
United 412, roger.
American 412, American. United 412 is also on the frequency acknowledged.
American 412.
In air traffic control, we must rely totally on verbal communication to understand and be understood. To reduce the potential for communication errors, pilots and controllers should always use standard phraseology in their transmissions. Proper phraseology allows the pilot to anticipate what's coming next. For example, the pilot expects to hear, "Fly heading 270, not 270 on the heading." When instructions are given in the wrong order, or when standard phraseology is not used, it leaves room for misinterpretation. Using alphanumerics like niner versus 9 and fife versus 5 are effective in eliminating errors. Using voice inflection to emphasize key elements of a transmission helps to clarify the instruction.